Hi, my name's Steph and I'm 18 years old in my first year of uni. Now, I first lost my hair when I was about 6 years old, but I didn't have my first experience of telling people about my alopecia until I was 12 when I lost nearly all of my hair. Now, it used to be the most terrifying thing that I could do, and just thinking about it could send me into this fit of hysteria because I would just imagine these looks of absolute disgust on people's faces. I really thought that people just wouldn't want to be friends with me anymore. I used to hide my bald head under a white beanie, which boys in my school thought it was funny if they came and stole it from me. And I used to stand there like this, hiding the patches on my head. I remember one lunchtime when everyone thought that I had cancer and everyone was coming up to me and asking me if I was dying. And I was sitting behind a whiteboard crying because I didn't know what else to do. When school started to become a really traumatic experience for me, that was when we decided that we had to start telling people about my alopecia. So I worked with my parents, the school counsellor, and also with a pack from the AAAF to come up with a presentation that we'd do to our class. That was probably one of the most terrifying things I've ever done. I don't think I've ever been so afraid in my entire life. Like, I was shaking and I was physically nauseous. But the thing was, everyone was actually really supportive. So when you tell people about alopecia, there are just a couple of things that you need to address. So what is AA? What are the symptoms? Is there a cure? Is it contagious? And make sure that they know that they can ask you questions if they need. Because I had one of my friends think that my hair was sewn onto my head for 3 months because she was just too afraid to ask me how my wig worked. So yeah, after my presentation, everyone was super supportive. Everyone clapped and they cheered and it was amazing. But the thing was that people didn't talk about it with me after, and I was too afraid to bring it up because I wanted it to be something that was normal. So I think one of the most important things to do when you make a presentation or you tell people is just to be confident and open about the condition. And that can just be as easy as looking at your posture. Something like this sends a very different message to something like this. And that's something that I found really helpful. Now, in high school, I felt free of this bald girl label that I had in primary school, and that was amazing. Until keeping that secret became something that was really, really confining. And I didn't actually tell anyone until I was in year 8 when keeping the secret just started to consume me and I just had to tell someone. So I told my best friend, who I loved very much and I trusted. But the thing was that I unloaded all of my trauma onto one person and then I forced her to keep my secret for me. And that's when telling people can go really, really wrong, because I only had that one person to support me, and I think because of that the relationship became really toxic. So I've always found that I need a couple of things when telling people about alopecia. First of all, a stable network of support, so you don't have just one person supporting you. That's really important. You also need to have a degree of self-confidence and resilience, because sometimes people are going to react negatively and you don't want to be destroyed by that. You also need to give the people around you the tools that they need to support you as well, and that's usually about giving people information, not only about the condition, but also about what you're going through emotionally as well. And so you want to be in relationships where you can say, I'm going to go out in a headscarf today, but I'm really nervous and I want people around me who are going to support me. You need a plan of what you're going to do, because otherwise your nerves are just going to get the better of you, and a safe and neutral place to do it is really good. I always needed a good segue from normal conversation, because I can't even tell you how many times I would just not tell someone because I hadn't found the right place in the conversation. It's possible that you're going to have to bring it up a couple times before people are confident and comfortable with talking to you about it, and that's okay. When someone reacts with silence, it's not because they don't accept you, it's usually just because they don't want to offend you and they don't know what to say. I often use like a joke or something like that just to lighten the mood about, how awful it would be only to have one hairstyle, or, how awful it would be to have bed hair or something like that. It's just good to lighten the mood. You're going to get a variety of different reactions. I told someone at uni and she thought I looked stunning in headscarves and thought it was just totally awesome. And then I told another person and he thought that the bandanas was a bit of a weird look. And, every time I came with a different hairstyle, I could see his head explode just a little bit more. But the thing is that one day I rocked up to uni in a headscarf and I forgot to tell him altogether, like, surprise! So I couldn't really be that, surprised when he started to react in a negative way. Good friends aren't going to care about the fact that you don't have hair. And I've never had anyone in my life stop wanting to be friends with me just because I have alopecia. And actually, it's a really great way of weeding out the friends who aren't going to be good for you in the future as well. Alopecia taught me to reject things like conformity and normality. No one's normal. And to be extraordinary, you don't want to be normal anyway. So be bold, and be you.